Hey Leo, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings. We take what works, leave what doesn't. As with everything in life, if I don't catch your wavelength or storyline on this reading, go check your other major placements. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. You know, maybe it's just not your week and check back next week. Let's see here. Thank you so much for your likes, subscribes, and comments. If you haven't already, do hit that subscribe button. It helps other people find the channel and makes me very happy. And I'm starting with the Oracle deck, the Moonology and Work Your Light. And then we're going to move on to Tarot of Mystical Moments for a more traditional tarot spread. And boy, was this deck eager to talk. I mean, some days it's like nothing, nothing. Doesn't want to say anything. But this just had everything flying off the top here. So, what do we have? Okay. They don't immediately put themselves into a storyline, but adjustments are required. Third quarter moon. So, headed towards something, still a ways to go though. Still some adjustments, maybe something kind of holding you back, something pulling at you, trying to keep you from moving forward. Not trying to, but the effect is that it's pulling you back. So some adjustments, either an adjustment in how you view it, an adjustment in how you approach it in the 3D, an adjustment in how you talk about it, adjusting the stories that you tell yourself about it. Some sort of adjustment is required. Birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. So this kind of looks like adjusting your expectations or your desires for what you want to happen. And kind of shifting those a little bit. Are you dreaming not too big? Are you dreaming, you know, do you have little small dreams about how this needs to go and you need to adjust and make some bigger dreams about how something can possibly go, the possible outcome, the possible ramifications? Or are you looking at something too negatively? And you're free to dream big. And it has this ripple effect, which is what I was getting from this adjustments required. It has this ripple effect. So you change the way you view something, you change the amount of possibilities you see with the situation. It starts changing reality and ripples out into reality. So your dreaming, your visioning, and the way you approach something will be having an effect on your reality. Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? So don't pretend you're somebody you're not. Don't pretend to be stupider than you are. Don't play small. That's what I'm seeing here with this birthing a new age, dreaming something, adjustments required. Don't play small. Don't pretend you don't know what you know. Don't pretend that you're quieter or less than you are, or even don't pretend that you're louder than what you are. You know, I went through a long phase of liking just brown clothes, and people criticized me for my brown clothes, my plain clothes, and I had to be like, not just, I like this, and back off about it. That is a really silly metaphor, but so I just want to say, like, there are certain subcultures where it's like, you have to be big, you have to be bold. Well, what if you feel like wearing brown for 3 months? What if that's what you feel like? Then do that. Even if you're surrounded by big, bold people and you want to be bland and you want to, gray stone yourself? Go be a gray stone. Go be brown. Go be a UPS person in disguise. Like, just go doing what you feel is right and not measuring yourself so much about expectations around you, what other people think you should be doing. You know, how bold or not bold you should be being here, how big this dream should be or how little it should be. There's something here where you might be tempted to say, to just try to fit in, go along to get along. But this is saying dream much bigger than the go along to get along idea, and that's where your adjustment lies. So Sisterhood of the Rose, Beauty and Devotion, Priestess, Mystic, Teacher. I love this card because she sits, this is you, male or female, you sit in between, in the midst of this row, and I see this chronologically. So you are both receiving teaching and you are giving teaching. You're receiving and you're giving. Your cup is being filled, and you're pouring from a full cup. You're giving from a full cup. And these can be different topics, the same topics, whatever. I see this as you being a link in the chain. You know, how do we get our wisdom? It's passed down. It's passed down through each link in this chain, and we each get to be part of a link in the chain of human information, of human existence, learning from people learning from people and then passing that on, being a conduit. Basically, Sisterhood of the Rose is a welcome to being a conduit of information or of, it looks like you've learned something, you've grown, you've learned something. Don't try to hide it. Don't pretend you haven't learned anything from the journey you've been on so far. Rise up. Come to the point where you are one of the people that have learned some things in your life. And maybe those lessons aren't applicable to literally every person on the planet in every situation. We have to be careful with giving advice because our lives are all so unique and so different. And we are all so unique and so different that advice is just not a one-size-fits-all situation and cannot be. So we're not necessarily giving advice, but something's passing through us. We're both learning, we're both the teacher and the student at the same time, maybe in different things. But don't pretend you don't know what you know. Don't pretend you don't have any wisdom and you haven't been learning from your experience here on Earth. And allow yourself to dream bigger. These are the adjustments. All right. Leo, this is your past, your present, your inner landscape. What's the issue? Your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Holy crap, why are you even here? This is so beautiful. Everything is perfect and lovely and beautiful. So, all right, see you next week. I hope you come up with some sort of problem between now and then, so there's a reason to watch this. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. I don't know why I'm blushing. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. What the? All right, Leo. So this reading is beautiful, and that's pretty much all there is to say. But we'll talk about some cards here. So Temperance, in your recent past, you've had this time of needing patience. This is a bit of a time heals all wounds. Time combines things. Time's adjustment, an adjustment period, adjusting through time. You getting used to something, getting used to an idea. There's kind of been a protected space where you got used to some sort of reality, some sort of idea of what could happen here, idea of the possibilities. This is Temperance. She's usually my bartender. She's mixing things. She's moving things back and forth. I just saw a sailboat, but it was just in my mind. But Temperance is, I guess, that combination of flow, of flowing water and flowing, those two things working together, the air flowing, the water flowing, and moving, gliding, a sense of gliding, and both of these elements, both of these things working together really well. They're two different elements, but they're moving together and they're moving in concert together, and they're creating this situation of this sailboat gliding across some sort of the expanse of time. So anyway, yeah, that wind, the air and water mixing and working together, two different elements coming together, working together, and creating something very beautiful together, and moving through time this way. I'm not able to quite okay. All right, so the Temperance card is about those things working together, those things coming together, and this time passing, moving forward, and this gentling, this gliding, this sense of some sort of maybe extreme or intense thing may have happened, and this is a period of adjustment, adjusting to it, getting used to some sort of reality, getting used to something, and being able to make the most out of the raw materials that you're provided with here. And then in your current situation is Ten of Cups. So Ten of Cups is about this maximum amount of happiness. So the Ten of Cups, though, is not necessarily maximum amount of happiness available to humans throughout all of time and space, and permanent. It's not permanent, but it is a place. It talks to me about maximum happiness available in a certain situation, available to you in this situation. We have achieved some sort of peace, some sort of tranquility, some sort of very fulfilling happiness. Here it is about time. I'm getting so much about time here. I don't understand through time. So So Ten of Cups here is about a time of peace, a time of joy. You've waited a long time for this peace and this joy and this contentment. And there's been a protected space as you got used to and adjusted something, and now I think you're used to the situation, you've adjusted to the situation or to the idea, and you're starting to feel some peace and some contentment about where you are right now. It's taken time. And this Temperance, what is Temperance? I mean, temporal. I just keep seeing time in this card. It's taken some time and some patience and some adjustment. And now there's like there's this time of peace and contentment and joy, and there's a lull in the storm. There's clearly been a storm coming through because we have the rainbow. So we've watched the storm pass over us, and now as the light is beginning to dawn and the calm is beginning to settle, we're able to really enjoy that calm. It's like when it's a moment to be enjoyed, to be treasured, to be to settle into, to relax into a moment where this storm has passed. And it may have taken a very long time for this storm to pass. But it's about relaxing and settling into a peaceful moment, a peaceful place, right? Life is going to throw us so much shit and so much garbage and so many difficulties. But when we sit in them and just settling into them, I'm feeling this sense of I want to be here. This is what I want. I want to be here. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy I made it through the storm. I'm happy we made it through the storm. I'm happy that the storm has passed. And there's no more gratitude than when it's contrasting with something that's been very difficult, with something that's been awful. And when that time passes, it's a moment. And we know it's a temporary moment. We know that. We don't need to be reminding other people that their joy is just temporary or anything like that. We already know that. And that is more need. That creates more of a necessity to sit in that beautiful moment, to relax in that beautiful moment, to accept this beautiful moment, and to understand that yes, you want to be here. Yes, this is where you want to be. This is what you want. And this moment is bringing you joy. And settling sort of into that joy and that peace and that desire to be right where you are. And that it was worth all the struggle and worth the pain to get here. So, in your hopes and fears, you have the Death card. You have the Death card. So this card definitely talks about an ending, creating new life, a new beginning here. And I think this is, your hope would be that whatever's ended, this storm having passed, this death having occurred, this ending, this big ending in your life having occurred, what is its purpose? What is its point? But to bring new life, to bring joy, to bring growth from that compost, from that shit, from that garbage that you just went through, wanting to grow, wanting to that new life. I see you longing for the new life, longing to come back to life, longing for this, for more beauty, more joy. I mean, you've just been through a shit show here. So really taking pleasure in new life, taking pleasure in that joy, and hoping that the ending is ended and that we are done, that the storm has passed, and hoping that there's so much growth and really enjoying and wanting to be able to enjoy that growth coming towards you, that growth that is earned through this ending. That this ending created room and space for this new growth, and looking towards that. So there could be an ending on your mind, but I see you really longing for the growth that comes from that ending, that growth from that trial and that trouble. And then the situation, what's at issue here, is the reverse tower moment. So the reverse tower moment can be things coming together, this growth happening so quickly and so fast that it can be discombobulating. So the tower moment is always about some sort of discombobulation, some sort of topsy-turvy, but we're turning the topsy-turvy on its head here. So in the reverse, the tower moment can just be referring to a tower, referring to the crumbling of an old structure, to this death, to this crumbling of some sort of old structure of your life, the way things were done, the way things used to be, the way things have been done, and that crumbling, and what was once on top is now on the bottom, what was first is now last. This whole topsy-turviness and your life being turned upside down, flipped upside down. So the Tower in reverse can be basically just the same as the Tower upright. The Tower in the reverse can also be so much good coming at you that it can feel discombobulating. And there's so much good and so much beauty. I mean, we have this death card, but the way Welz-Stein depicts it, it's so beautiful. It's really a focus on that beautiful growth and that beautiful newness that comes out of the compost, that comes out of death. The death being absolutely necessary, not a corollary to life, not a sideshow of life, but absolutely necessary. We are all here because stars died, because creatures died, because plants died, because everything died. You know, we're all like massively recycled and recycled molecules, and so none of us would be here if it weren't for death at all. Everything would be stasis, is the same as it was the first day of the whole cosmos, right? So so we owe our very lives to death and to that concept, and we're a little bit ungrateful for it sometimes, but that's understandable. So anyway, this Tower moment, this new life, this new thing coming in, it's so beautiful, and you're just enjoying it and reveling in it, but it is this topsy-turvy. It's not the way you're used to things going at all. I mean, you've experienced some sort of trauma that time has healed somewhat, and now you've found some sort of peace, but there's still like this either this vestige of trauma or this vestige of this thing that got turned upside down in your life, but it could also be just that new life coming in so fast and so quick that it is a little unnerving. And then, you know, if we couldn't get better, in your environment, you have this Four of Wands. So there's some sort of leveling up, some sort of new commitment, some sort of, our Four of Wands, it's the 1111 card. It's the engagement card. It's the it's the milestone card, having accomplished so much, having gotten to a certain point, and saying, okay, you know, because let's just think of engagement as a metaphor. So we've been dating. We've had some struggles. We've had some issues. We've figured them out. And now we feel like, yeah, the dating part, the sort of audition is over. The portion of where we're trying to understand where this can go, if we're a good match, if we're healthy for each other, if we're healthy together, that is over. And now we know we are healthy together, and we want to commit to the future. So it's hitting some sort of milestone, is sort of this uncertainty is over, and now we're heading confidently towards a new and beautiful future. But the part where nobody knows exactly where this is going, that part's over, and we're announcing, there's always a public thing with Four of Wands, we're announcing our intention to continue, to our intention, like this is working out. I do want this. So there's some sort of announcement here, or celebration of somebody having achieved somebody, and this may not be you. This may be you attending a wedding, you attending. I hope not. Maybe with a mask on, at least. But you attending something, or you being part of somebody else's leveling up, somebody else's, or it could be yours too, and that this is the public part of it, this is the coming forward part of it, of we are committed, we are recommitting to this path together. If, as far as work is concerned, this could be a promotion, this could be some sort of leveling up situation where, you know, if you've been on probation with a job, you know, as many jobs do when you first start them, if you've been on probation, that probation period is ending and you're now definitely one of the team, or you've been an intern and now you're getting a job. So there's some sort of leveling up, some sort of milestone being hit here with some sort of level of commitment to the future. Here we have your to-do list. Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles, this is about planning. So this almost looks like an engagement and now planning out the wedding. The wedding will be in a year, not tomorrow. This isn't a quick moving Knight of Pentacles. This is about communication, about movement. The movement is slow. The growth is slow. This is about the acorn that grows into the tree. It's very slow. If memory serves me, oaks are pretty slow growing trees, I think. Are acorns part of oaks? I cannot remember. So this slow growing movement, yes, there's been some inspiration. There's been a sense of spring arriving here. And now that the spring has arrived, now we're looking towards, okay, how do we grow this? How do we move this forward? How do we plant this in solidly. We may be happy now, but let's look at the future. Let's look at where we're going here, and let's make sure we're planning and planting things for the future, and planning for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Let's looking at the long game. Let's look at the long game. That's the Knight of Pentacles, is having a vision, but it's a really long-reaching vision. He is investing, or she is investing in the future, looking very smartly at the future, at where we can go with this, at what comes next. So that's your to-do list, is planning long term, planning for a long future, planning and getting an overall view for the patterns with which you're working with, and planning and slow moving communication, very methodical, really looking to the Knight of Pentacles really looks to the future, to the far future, and plans that in a very organized and intentional way, really being intentional about your next moves and where you go from here. And then where you go from here, possible outcome. It does look like a wedding a little bit to me. This is such a really beautiful little love story here. But Six of Wands, it could be work. You could be, connecting with something that you just really love right now, and it's going very well, and you've had work in the past that sucked, and now you're getting a promotion, and now you're really wanting to think about, okay, where do I go next with this company, or with this job, or with this career? But so a possible outcome here is Six of Wands. This is, I love how this is a clever victory. It's very quick moving, and the tables have turned here a bit. And this is you're victorious, and here's your community riding your coattails, enjoying your success, enjoying your wedding, enjoying the food you have at your wedding, enjoying you get a big promotion, and then you get to bring along some of your people from your old job, something like that, and your community celebrating your success. So this is about your community celebrating your success. So where are you going to go from here? You're planning something, and you might be planning actually an event for your community or for your people. But Six of Wands is all about victorious, returning to your hometown, totally victorious, and people being happy for you and enjoying and benefiting from your success and your victories. So I really couldn't ask for a more beautiful reading here. It's incredible. I love it. All right, what do we have here? Love me. Okay, one of you Leos is definitely getting married or engaged, and the rest of you are just having a good week. But love makes all things possible. Love makes all things possible. Take your time. Take your time. Commit to your inner journey and don't give up. This is all the Knight of Pentacles. The Divine Mother is always there. Success will be yours. Yep. That's what it says. I'll post a picture at the end of this. That's what it says. I love it. And then you got another one. Moved by the call, wild love of my own soul, I call upon you. I trust in the process of letting go and the wild loving life calling me to my divine destiny. I trust in my fearless spirit. So, two beautiful cards to end what could literally be the most beautiful reading I've ever had. So anyway, I hope that resonates with you, Leo, and I hope that you have a wonderful week, although you hardly need my good wishes to do so.